This talk is for fourth-year students of the University of Distance Education. There are altogether 6 units for semester 2. Now, I'm going to explain the points to be studied in this unit, changing times. In this unit, you have to study how we are changing. Vocabulary, new trends, grammar focus, relative pronouns in defining relative clauses, as if, as though, as, the like, life choices, and writing about a personal experience. This unit introduces the theme of how people's lifestyles are changing. Firstly, we are asked to answer one question here. People's lifestyles are changing more quickly than ever before. Are any of the changes below occurring in your country? You can think of these changes below occurring in your country. Number 1. Eating healthful foods and getting regular exercise have become important to both younger and older people. 2. Increasingly, parents who are disappointed with the quality of education in traditional institutions are deciding to educate their children at home. 3. Many professionals who used to commute to their jobs are now working from home. 4. Medical therapies that use herbs, natural oils, and other techniques are becoming more widespread. 5. Many people are accepting jobs with fewer responsibilities and lower salaries because they want to live a less stressful life. 6. Many people are choosing to eat foods that are not derived from animals. 7. People who want to develop muscular bodies are joining gyms and health clubs. The next item we need to learn is vocabulary concerning lifestyles. New trends here. The word trend means a general direction or tendency. These expressions refer to current trends affecting people's customs and lifestyles. The expression here is match each expression to a statement from exercise A above. Which of these trends do you think are most beneficial? Firstly, you have to think, and after that, let's check your answer as follows. Number A, alternative medicine. Answer is 4. Number B, bodybuilding. Answer is 7. C, fitness. Answer number 1. D, homeschooling. Answer number 2. E, telecommuting. Answer number 3. F, vegetarianism. Answer number 6. And G, voluntary simplicity. The answer is number 5. The third item we are going to learn is grammar focus, relative pronouns in defining relative clauses. A number of different relative pronouns, who, that, which, whom, whose, are used to introduce defining relative clauses. When the relative pronoun is the subject of the clause, it is required. When it is the object, it is usually optional. Here, optional means a matter of choice. Relative pronouns referring to people. Subject of clause require. Professionals who that used to commute to their jobs are now working from home. Object of clause optional. And herbal therapist is a health professional who that whom more and more people are consulting about both mental and physical health. Relative pronouns referring to things. Subject of clause require. People are demanding vegetables and fruits that which have been grown without the use of chemicals. Object of clause optional. herbal therapy is an option that which more and more people are considering as an alternative to traditional medicine. Relative pronouns as objects or prepositions. In colloquial English, relative pronouns that are the objects or prepositions are optional. In more formal language, however, the preposition generally precedes the relative pronoun and either which or whom must be used. Optional. My herbal therapist is the health professional whom I speak to most often. Insomnia is a problem that which herbal therapy is commonly used for. Require. My herbal therapist is the health professional to whom I speak most often. Insomnia is a problem for which herbal therapy is commonly used. Relative pronouns referring to possession. Require. Parents whose children are not doing well in traditional schools are turning to homeschooling as solution. These are the explanation of relative pronouns. And now let's do question number A. Check the sentences in which the relative pronoun is optional. How many sentences are true in your community? Can you think of a specific example for each? Number 1. A lot of people who have grown tired of city life are moving to the country. Number 2. People who use the internet join chat groups to socialize. 3. Email is an efficient form of communication that many businesses rely on. 4. People are devoting more time to others who are less fortunate. 5. People are recycling many of the things which they would normally have thrown away in the past. Now, let's check your answer in the following. Number 1. Who is required? Number 2. Who is required? Number 3. That is optional. Number 4. Who is required? And number 5. Which is optional. Next, you have to do the exercise given below. Fill in the blanks with who, whom, whose, that or which, and check your answers as follows. Number 1. Is life becoming easier or more difficult for couples who or that live together without getting married? Number 2. Are problems that which arise nowadays between couples different from or the same as problems that which couples had in the past? Number 3. Is it wrong for women who that have children to work outside the home? Number 4. Are there any household chores for which men are better suited than women or vice versa? Number 5. Should men whose wives have better paying jobs stay at home and take care of the children? This time, we will move on to grammar focus, as if, as though, as, and the like. As if and as though mean in a way that suggests something, and they often introduce clauses that describe behavior or feelings. Example, number 1. I feel as if or as though there is never enough time in the day. Number 2. My brother sometimes acts as if or as though he's totally crazy. As and the way introduce clauses that express a comparison. Example, spending time alone doesn't bother me as the way it did when I was younger. In colloquial English, the word like can be substituted for as if, as though, and as or the way. Example, I feel like there is never enough time in the day. Number 2, spending time alone doesn't bother me like it did when I was younger. Rewrite these sentences to make them more formal, using as if, as though, as or the way. I need to work on my communication skills because sometimes I feel like I'm not getting my message across. I need to work on my communication skills because sometimes I feel as if I'm not getting my message across. Now, I have already given the answer for question number 1, and let's do the other sentences on your own. Number 2, I like to work by myself so that I don't feel like I'm being pushed around by anybody. Number 3, lately, I'm trying to spend more time with my family and friends. Like I did before, I get involved in so many other activities. Number 4, I have to establish more realistic goals like my career advisor has suggested. Number 5, these days, women are not expected to stay at home like their mothers did in the past. Number 6, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough exercise and I spend too much time sitting at a desk. Now, we are going on to the next item. Number B, you need to complete these sentences so that they are true for you. You can add 2 more sentences with your own information. I will give you one example here. By looking at this, I think you can have the idea and do the other sentences here. You can complete the following as you like. Example 1, I feel as if. The answer is as follows. I feel as if I need a long vacation. Number 2, I don't need to be with people all the time as. Number 3, I feel as though I never have enough time to. Number 4, I would like to spend more time with my friends the way. Number 5, I still enjoy swimming just like. The next item we need to discuss is life choices. This is for your discussion. Discuss the situations below. What are the advantages and disadvantages of each? Would you do something similar to what those people did? Why or why not? I will read out the 3 people here. Sylvia gave up a successful and well-paid career as a lawyer to begin a kindergarten children. Don sold his apartment in the city to move to a suburban house so he could telecommute and do this work at home. Hiroshi turned down a job at a bank in order to work as a volunteer for a disaster relief organization. This item you can discuss with your friends and write down your own ideas as much as you can. Now, we are going on to the next point, writing. In writing, here are the guidelines you need to know. A conversation about a personal experience usually begins with an introductory paragraph containing a thesis statement and some observations or comments. The body of the conversation provides background information and gives detail about what happened. The conclusion usually restates the thesis and presents the writer's feelings. Underline the thesis statement, then answer the questions and compare answers with a partner. Last month, I took a giant step and finally moved to a new apartment. I had been sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with a friend for the last 2 years and decided that it was time to have my own place. In the beginning, I was a little scared because I would be assuming a great deal of financial responsibility. I was also a little concerned about feeling lonely, but I knew that I wanted to have the experience of being totally on my own. The first thing I wanted to do before making a final decision was to talk things over with my roommate. We had first moved in together because neither are as good as fault. I look at many apartments before making up my mind. I finally found an affordable studio in very good shape with a lot of light. The apartment is... My apartment now is beginning to look like a home. I've been looking at a lot of interior design magazines and I managed to decorate my apartment. I really feel good about having a place I can call my own. Sometimes I feel a little lonely, but for the most part I enjoy the privacy. Number 1. What observations or personal comments does the writer make in the first paragraph? Number 2. What kinds of details does the body of the composition provide? Number B. Write a composition about something that has happened to you recently. Make sure to include an introductory paragraph, 3 paragraphs with details and a conclusion. Number C. Exchange papers and answer these questions. Number 1. Does your partner's introductory paragraph have a thesis statement? Number 2. Do all the details in the body of the composition support the thesis statement? Number 3. What other points or examples could be added? This is for your developing writing skill. This is the end of my talk, and I hope you've got the ideas and can do the exercises very well. Goodbye.